has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
They got DeVries into Bloomington in a hurry, Mike, and he's obviously, it would appear to me, never been there. Like, he was walking around like he was in Shangri-La looking at Assembly Hall.
Yeah.
I have to admit, like, you know, just so we're clear here, this is a temple of college basketball. It really is a special building. I've been in there for some of the greatest games ever. And I've also been in there when it is steaming hot in the middle of winter, and the windows are steamed up, and it's freezing outside, but 80 degrees inside, and that place is lit, and I mean packed. You can't even move. It is so unbelievable. And this guy is experiencing the ghosts of Assembly Hall, walking around there today with his wife and family as they introduced him in Bloomington. And he got himself a magnificent deal, 6 years and a lot of money. And he's got NIL coming out his arse.
Sure does. Man, that was a quick turn. I mean, they got him in the building fast. Press conference, everything.
They even brought him in a cream and crimson Escalade. Did you see that?
Yep. Him and the family getting out of the car. So good luck to him. Already, listen, they got him in quick because he's got to start hitting the pavement.
Just
Gotta
win,
start
dude.
getting
Just win, dude. I don't care who you are. Just win, for Christ's sakes. I've waited so long. I'm going to be dead before they win another one. I don't think I'll see them win a national championship in the remaining years of my life. And I saw them win all 3 of 5. I saw them win 3 under Knight. And in my lifetime, I saw them win in 76 and in 81. I saw that game the night Reagan got shot and they beat Michigan. I saw him live in New Orleans covering the game, beat Syracuse down 13 with 3 minutes to go. I need to see it again. If you're a real basketball fan and you're like a real Hoosier, you literally bleed cream and crimson, and you want it more than anything in life. Like, they love Indiana basketball more than they love their children. I'm not even kidding. It's not even close.
They certainly do. Not even close. They love Hoosier basketball more than the Pacers, that's for sure. Pacers are home tonight. We start the NBA with the Mavericks in town.
I like the Pacers.
Mavericks have been horrible. Minus 10.5. Minus horrible. I mean, they've been awful. Minus 10.5 for the Pacers tonight. 234.5 the total.
I think this one gets ugly tonight at the Fieldhouse. I really do. They have nothing left. I mean, Dante Exum's even down for the count. They have nothing left. And your boy Obi-Wan is jacking threes. They're healthy. The Pacers are legit. Too legit to quit, son. Give me Indy.
The Rockets are in Orlando tonight against the Magic. Road favorites, minus 2.5 for Houston. 209.5 the total.
So they've won, what, 7 in a row? It
yes, 7 in a row for the Rockets.
Your boy Banchero, who has become one of the great shack talkers in the league. Did you see him giving the business the other night to the guy in the game and telling him how much he sucks and you're nobody?
I did see that from Banchero. He was giving that guy the business. The Pistons are in Miami. You talk about another team that's let go of the rope. The Heat really have let go of the rope lately. Pistons minus 4.5, 218.5 the total.
You can still go to Joe's Stone Crab for a quality meal in South Beach, but you can't watch the Heat win. Give me the Pistons at the Kaseya tonight, laying the 4 and a hook.
They've lost 8 in a row. They've lost 9 out of 10.
Whoa.
They're praying that either the Nets or the Raptors could just win some games and pass them for that last spot in the play-in tournament. Like, they don't want anything to do with that either. They're hoping that it happens. Next up for you, let's go to Minnesota. The Pelicans are in to take on the Timberwolves. Heavy lumber here, 13.5 for Mini, 228.5 the total.
The other night, the Pelicans got beat by like 60. They're dead meat tonight at the Target Center in Minneapolis. This is going to be like, literally, they're going to be filming this stuff for their Jumbotron highlights. Give me the T-Wolves at the Target. Lay it.
The Sixers are in OKC against the Thunder tonight. Now, look, you would think on the surface that this should be a lot more than 11.5. We've had plenty of nights where we've had some 16s and 17s with the Thunder. So I'm going to go see who's out for this game. But I'll tell you, here we go. They're doing this again. They're sitting everybody. SGA out, Dort out, J-Dub out, Dieng out, Hartenstein questionable. So they're going to try to mail this in tonight, OKC. They're laying 11.5 against Philly. But they still got plenty of guys. They have so many guys.
I got 12 with Quentin Grimes and the Philadelphia Express. Give me the Sixers and the grimy dinner on a plate at the diner. Give me the Sixers and the money. And they've done it for me this week already. I mean, they just cover.
See, the thing is that the Thunder and the Celtics can pull stuff like this off because they're so deep. But they're not really, because they're so deep that they could sit 4 or 5 guys and they could still beat you. I mean, especially in a game like this. Holmgren, Isaiah Joe, they got plenty of other guys that'll go out there and fill it up.
Quentin Grimes with a 40 burger tonight.
Grimes with the 40 burger. The Knicks are in San Antonio against the Spurs. They're 8.5-point favorites on the road, 227.5.
Speaking of finished, it's the Spurs at the Frostbank. The Knicks roll a doobie tonight on the road.
We've got a couple of 15-win teams here in Utah tonight. Whoa. Friends and family only for the Wizards and the Jazz. Jazz minus 2.5, 233.5 the total.
It's got to be the Jazzy Jeff tonight in the Salt Lake Shakers.
Haven't the Wizards actually kind of been playing better? Haven't they won a couple games recently?
They have.
I don't know.
Screw them.
Denver is at the Crypto tonight against the Lakers. Of course, Denver beat them last week at their place. They're minus 2.5 on the road here, 232.5 the total.
Not tonight, as I watch Mike Trout running in from right field slower than molasses on a fly.
Yeah, he should start thinking about DHing more.
He's out. Give me the Lake Show tonight with Luca and your boy, the Hillbilly Mamba. With a 35 burger tonight at the Krypton. Lipstick City.
Bulls are in Phoenix against the Suns. Suns minus 5.5, 234.5 the total.
You know I got to take my boy Kobe White and your boy Giddy Kitty tonight in the footprint in the desert against the Slim Reaper. Yeah.
Memphis is in Portland against the Blazers. No Ja tonight. Morant not playing. They're still 4.5-point favorites, 234.5 total.
I like the Blazers tonight in Rip City at the Moda.
Back-to-back for the Cavs. They lost in L.A. Now they're in Sacramento, laying 4.5 on the road.
Another egg dropped on the kitchen floor. Give me the Kings tonight. Light the beam at the Golden One with an outright win.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday Inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 199 issue from last week. Like, I just don't get how he is still employed. We gotta talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Brant Nelson's getting staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the fourth number one seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, second overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 a night.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Wednesday. You know it, a golf Wednesday on C2C. And, of course, every week we get ready for this week's event with Keith Stewart from Read the Line as we head to just outside of Tampa, final stop on the Florida Swing, Innisbrook, the Copperhead course, the paint can tournament for the Valspar that we are going to have. Now, Keith, it's great to see you as always. Keith's back home. It's been a long few weeks on the road for him. I don't blame you, Keith. You only stay in Florida for so long. And then you finally eventually got to come back before you dip in and out. Two things before we get to this week. Number one, Rory wins the Players. Of course, after the playoff, beats J.J. Spuds there on Monday morning very early. Now, Mafi was talking about this before. We had this discussion the other day. Do you believe, and now circumstances were different. I mean, you had a very long rain delay, you had a weather delay, all things happening. But if that playoff happens on Sunday night, right there on the spot, is Rory going to win as easily as he did? Because I think it was tough with JJ having his head on the pillow all night, having to go back in the morning to face Rory.
To be honest with you, Mike, and good afternoon on a golf Wednesday. But to be honest with you, I think Rory still wins it. I just don't think he wins it as easily as he does having JJ sleep on a playoff against the number 2 player in the world.
I agree. I think that he would have won it anyway. I think it would have been maybe a little bit more drama. Maybe they go into 18 with a one stroke instead of 4 or whatever it was at that point. I mean, would have made that Rory shot on 18 into the right a little bit more precarious. But then JJ went and did that to himself. So it is what it is. Next, one more thing on Rory. There's been a lot made now about 2 wins for the first time ever before the Masters in the same calendar year. He's going to play Houston next week, last tune-up before Augusta. This is the year, Keith. I'm hearing it. Everyone's banging the drum. He's coming for Augusta this year and his spot at the dinner table next year where he can set the menu instead of Scotty.
Well, you know what, Mike? I mean, the storylines by the time I get down there to Magnolia Lane are going to be absolutely suffocating. I don't know how Rory's going to deal with it. I don't know how we're all going to deal with it. It's going to be pretty intense. He did announce that he's going to play in Houston, so that's going to give us one run-up to ask a bunch of questions next week. So at Memorial Park, we will see him. We will see Scotty. it's interesting. This trend has been building over the last 3 years. A couple years ago, back in 22, Scotty, 3 wins, heads into the Masters, and he wins. 2 years ago, we have Rahm. He does the 3 wins, heads into the Masters, and wins. Last year, Scotty, couple wins, heads into the Masters, and wins. If the trend is your friend, and I love to say that, then Rory's looking pretty good. But, man, the ghosts of Augusta, man, they are prominent there. And I will always say this when you bring this up, whether it's Jordan at the PGA or it's Rory at Augusta, anyone that has ever completed the career Grand Slam has done it in their first 3 tries. Rory's working on, 10 plus? The first 3 tries, Mike.
It's very difficult. TGL, we have our championship now as Atlanta gets the win over the Bay Club, and then the stunning upset on Monday night as the New York team takes out the number 1 seed LA, and really stunning fashion because New York was awful this year and they snuck into the playoffs, and LA was really a pretty dominant group. But they go home, Keith. That's all it takes is one night at the TGL. They'll be talking about that for a long time. Be careful when they have those playoffs. But what do you think for this championship coming up?
There's 2 things I'll say about this, and I'm psyched. I'm going to go down next week. You'll see me next week from there. TGL Finals, it's been a great first season. My takeaway from the semifinals, this Atlanta Drive team is a wagon, man. All right? And if you're not ready for hammer time, those guys have outplayed everybody with the hammer like you wouldn't believe. They have schooled everyone. And last night when the match was kind of close, all of a sudden the Iceman gets up there and he just wrecks everyone's hopes. You got to love that. And the second thing is that, I don't know where your feelings stand on Tommy Fleetwood, but that 4-footer, in order to kind of put them in a position to only be 1 point behind with 1 hole to go for LA, who was the number 1 seed, who was favored, the closing potential of Tommy Fleetwood, is that where you want to put all your money this week? I'm not sure, Mike.
I know it's not where I want to put it, other than maybe a first-round leader, because this will be the week that Tommy comes out hot on Thursday, and then he'll let everybody down on Saturday and Sunday. At least that's how I'm looking for Fleetwood. All right, and is that a best of 3 I was reading, Keith? Next, they're playing. Is the championship a bet? How's that done? The finals?
So it's best of 3 next week. They're going to go at 9 p.m. on Monday, the 2 teams. Right now, I've already seen the odds. Atlanta Drive -140, New York +106. And then on Tuesday, they're going to have a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock if the 9 o'clock is needed.
Wow. So maybe a double dip on Tuesday night for some TGL. Yeah. I love it. All right, the Valspar, final stop in Florida, Innisbrook, Copperhead Course, Snake Pit, and the biggest conversation, Keith? Weather. Everybody involved with AM, PM, AM, PM, AM, PM. Tell me about it.
Mike, I've never seen something so wild in all my life. Now, I'm a PGA professional by trade. I'm a green grass operator for over 20 plus years. I mean, I've run thousands of tournaments outside. I have never seen a reaction to the weather. And you would think we were playing the Masters or the Players or something. I mean, this is literally the Valspar over in Tampa. The field is good. It's a lot better than you thought it would be for the Valspar a week after the Players. But I tell you what, the reaction of the books, I mean, you've got guys jumping 30 points in either direction. You have the favorites moving around. Tommy Fleetwood, because he's in the morning, is now suddenly the favorite over JT and Xander, and you have Xander and JT dropping into the 20s. I've never seen people overreact to something more in my life. I mean, there's 2 things in this world that are tough to predict. 1 is golf winners, and 2 is the weather. And you're trying to do both at the same time. I mean, I just don't get it. Like I said, it's an outdoor sport, but if you look at where the numbers dropped on Monday, and then where they were on Tuesday when they made the major shift, right? Yes, it's going to be pretty bad on Thursday afternoon, but it's not going to be apocalyptic. I mean, if you get through there unscathed, even 1 under, 1 over, you have 3 rounds to make it up, and there's some great players on Thursday afternoon with some huge leverage opportunities right now.
It certainly is. I mean, I jumped on it just because the numbers move so much. I mean, Corey Connors has played well the last couple of weeks. He moves down the board. Willie Z, there's some spots here to maybe get involved. We'll find out who Keith likes when we come back. Ferrall Coast to Coast, Keith Stewart, read the line, the pitch for the Valspar next.
That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Wednesday, a golf Wednesday on C2C. So, of course, Keith Stewart from Read the Line is with us as we get ready for the Paint Can, the Valspar Championship at the Copperhead Innisbrook, just outside of Tampa. All right, Keith, we talked about the weather and what that's going to deal with it here. So let's find out, who are you going after this week? And I always say to you, love when we're reading the same mail, and we are on a lot of guys this week. I love it.
You know, Mike, one last point that we were talking about during the break. You need to know this about the Valspar. The concentration of scores here is the tightest of almost any tour event, right? That means if you can get through Thursday unscathed with this weather, no matter what it turns out to be, and you have great players with huge leverage opportunities in their value on Thursday afternoon, that's what I'm going for. And I'm starting with Willie Z. I mean, the Happy 2 Gilmore, the trailer drops this week. Why not go with Happy's caddy? Willie Z, he started the week at 25. He's up to 45. The guy's got 5 top 30s this year. His approach game has been stellar, and the putter was good over there at Sawgrass. When Willie gets hot and on tough golf courses, you got to love it. Now, you keep asking me all year. I've been out there 8 straight weeks. I've seen Willie a bunch of times play golf. He keeps getting better and better and more comfortable since the back surgery. I love the opportunity there. Alex Smalley, another great ball striker. This guy, you know, it is all, if you look at the average gain per start in 2025, this guy's gaining 6 strokes on the field, right? He was 14th at the Players. Duke grad, you want a little NCAA madness in there, throw him in there. Lucas Glover, plus 4,500. Now he's up to plus 7,000. We have 5 par 3s on this golf course with an average length of 212. I will take Lucas Glover on any kind of golf course like that where he gets a perfect lie for 5 par 3 shots a day. Great with the long irons, and he's been playing well lately, 3rd at the Players. And then don't go to sleep on this guy, Jake Afternoon Knapp, who you love. Started the week at 50. He's up to 90. The approach game and the putting, which are the 2 things that you need at this place in order to contend, are really, really sharp for Knapp. And I just love it. I love the fact that he swings easy when it's breezy. It gets windy there, you know, on Thursday. I love Jake Knapp to get the job done with the putter and the iron game.
Yeah, no doubt. Willie Z is on my card as well, Keith. Let's hope he can get it home. And remember, I saw you tweet this, I think, over the weekend, or you mentioned it somewhere. If his game's rounding into form, He's played well at Augusta in the past. Keep it in mind as we're getting a little closer here, as you said, to Magnolia Lane. And this is a tournament also. I was looking at the average, odds for the winner. You've had bombs here. You've had lots of bombs. Malnati won last year, for God's sake. So you've had Peter Malnati win this thing after the Burns double. All right, next, placements for you, including, and you've even thrown in a couple of side pieces here, and one of them does have two-time winner Sam Burns in it, which we'll get to the end.
All right, top 20s. I'm going to go with Xander, number three player in the world, right? You're going to get positive money on a top 20 because he's coming back from a rib injury. Look at him in this field. He's also, if you buy into the whole win thing, he's in the AM wave. Taylor Moore, he won here in 2023, right? He's made 7 straight cuts. He is also playing very well, driving the ball exceptionally well, and he tends to score, especially on golf courses where he's comfortable. I love him at plus 220 for a top 20. Top 40s, Jacob Bridgman. Everybody's talking about this guy. AM wave guy. What does he do really well? He's good on approach, and he's a very, very good putter. He has been great down here in Florida. He was second at the Cognizant. He was 15th at API, so he loves the conditions down here. I love myself a little Jacob Bridgman. And then one more. I'm going Davis Riley, top 40, plus 260. He's a bomb at the end of the board. Now, everyone's saying, Davis Riley can win here because he was runner-up, lost in a playoff a couple years ago. I don't know if I'm going that far, Mike, but I tell you what, plus 260 on a top 40, I get 40 places. I'll take that and the cash. Then 2 for fun, right? Low Aussie. Right, Adam Scott, he's got to go against Cam Davis and Carl Phillips. Once again, if you want to buy into the wind wave sort of advantage, Scott's going off in the morning, the other 2 are going off in the afternoon, and then to miss the cut, 2-time winner Sam Burns. I tell you, the last couple of weeks, he's looked awful. Like, he's looked really, really bad. Missed the cut. He gets blown away before Saturday, plus 186.
Yeah, he has looked pathetic. I don't care how many times he's won this thing. Head-to-heads quickly.
All right, I'm taking Luke Clanton over Ben on, minus 125 on. It just hasn't been good lately. Luke Canton, the kid's a superstar. He's a Seminole, loves the Florida golf. And the other one, I'm going Keith Mitchell over Thomas Dietrich. Once Dietrich won out there in the desert, he's been awful. 53rd, miscut. Keith Mitchell, he'll keep it in play. He'll score for you.
Keith, tremendous job as always. Let's get to the window here at the Valspar before we head to Texas for a couple of weeks as we get closer to Augusta. Keith Stewart, read the line. We're back right after this.
That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
So I just saw a feature, Carver High, on the news, the local news here in New York City, about Bellworks and the SportsGrid mothership studios. It was a story about the business facility that it is in Ferrell, where we will be tomorrow and Friday from 3 to 6 doing the bracket tourney NCAA games, going crazy. But I just saw a giant feature on the building and the history of it, and how they filmed Severance there, the show on Apple TV. It's crazy. I have watched that show, and Luke has tried to keep me involved and invested in it. I'm on the second to last one, and I want to jump. Like, I just want to jump off. I just can't take it anymore. It's so boring. I thought it was good for a while. Now it's just gotten just so boring. I want to jump into the river. But the Bellworks, the entire facility's on that show like 5,000 times. It's crazy how they filmed the whole thing there.
How about that? I will be moseying on in there tomorrow to check the place out. So I'll be there.
I'll meet you at the elevator, Carver High, and get you into the building.
Yeah, I need to get in. That's for sure. All right, how about some NFL stuff for you now as we're turning the corner here towards the end on a Wednesday. The Vikings, everybody said Aaron Rodgers was waiting on them to see what they were going to do. They're not going to be going with him. They want to go with J.J. McCarthy. They're going to bring in some kind of a veteran to pair with him, but Rodgers won't be that veteran. They've taken some trade calls on McCarthy, but they've rejected all of those. So that leaves really the bottom line on this story is Aaron Rodgers has, he got a choice to make finally. He knows it's not the Vikings. Is it the Steelers? Is it the Giants? Or is it just hanging out in that cave in Southern California for the rest of his life? So he's got to figure out what he wants to do.
I think he should go on White Lotus, and I think the Vikings should go back for $10 million and some change and get Kirk Cousins back there to back up McCarthy and see how that goes. JJ's going to be the starter, and I think Cousins' career is at the point now where he's just overpaid and is going to be a backup, and that's what I think. Rodgers, if he hasn't done a deal with the Steelers or Giants, I mean, at this point, like by now and by the next day or two, then why not just leave the NFL altogether and retire? Because I don't know what he's waiting for. Nobody else wants him. Like the Steelers want him and he doesn't want to play for the Steelers. Well, then screw you. Just like Cam Hayward said, screw you, dude. Go play for the Giants and learn what losing's all about. I guarantee you, if he goes to the Giants, that'll be the end of Joe Shane and Brian Dable. They won't even make it through the season.
I want him to go to the Giants just because it would be such a disaster. Again, it would be just unbelievable. I actually think if he went to the Steelers, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it would be awful because I think that he respects Tomlin so much, and I think there would be, he's got two guys now that he can throw to in Metcalf and Pickens and Freiermuth, and I don't know why he hasn't already made the move.
Because he's a massive
to be quite
D.
honest with you.
He's a D-head.
Well, that's a recent. That's part of
his
it.
problem.
You mentioned Kirk Cousins. Allegedly, he's getting a lot of trade interest. But then again, allegedly, Will Levis is getting trade interest too. So who knows what to believe? Because that guy sucks.
They should trade Will Levis back to
stinks.
Kentucky.
He stinks, Will Levis. Speaking of Kirk Cousins, I guess he's going to be in the new season of quarterback. Or I guess, did they just film this past season?
They had to have filmed it already when he mattered.
They had to have, because he wouldn't have done it knowing that he wasn't going to play this year. So I guess this is off last year. Him, Joe Burrow, and Jared Goff are featured in what will be released on Netflix this past year's quarterback show.
What could be
Everybody
worse
loves
than that show?
Speaking of Joe Burrow, both of his wide receivers got paid of course, earlier this week. Yesterday, they were talking about it. Here's Higgins and Chase doing it together. Now, apparently some reporters said to Higgins, you could have went anywhere else and been the top dog, wide receiver 1. Why do you stay here for that? Jamar Chase quickly corrected that reporter.
If you were to leave, you would have probably been wide receiver 1. When you see it put out there that you're the highest paid wide receiver you see, how does that make you feel?
1A.
You're saying what's put out there?
I'm fixing it, 1A.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I don't even look at it like that. You know what I mean? I kind of wish they wouldn't have put it out there like that. So, because now that's why everybody's saying I'm the highest paid too. Let's just say I'm at a place where they value me and they respect me, and I'm a good player. So let's just say that. Not the highest receiver too or anything like that. You know what I mean? So let's just say he's another great receiver, Bengals receiver that that puts in the work and got his head down and just grinds.
Listen, I am scared to death of that guy. I think he's clearly he's one of the best receivers in the NFL, hands down, no questions asked. And when they play the Steelers, I'm scared to death. Like, the guy goes up and catches the rock like no other. I will never forget the Taylor blowing the Super Bowl, not throwing him the ball. The guy had 2 touchdown catches in the Super Bowl, and on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, he didn't throw to him. I don't know what was worse. Pete Carroll not giving Marshawn Lynch the ball in the Super Bowl, or Taylor not throwing the ball back to the only guy that made a play in the entire effing Super Bowl. You'll never live it down in my book. But the fact that they finally re-signed him and gave him a long-term deal, I will give them that it was owed. And they came through, and I can't believe it because I think Brown's a cheap-ass mother Ferreller.
He certainly is. Speaking of the Steelers quarterback situation, today was Alabama's Pro Day.
Whoa.
Jalen Milroe, of course, performed very well at the Pro Day. And last night, he had dinner with Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, the quarterback coach, all
Shaka
breaking
Khan.
Bread.
Shaka
Talking
Khan.
about maybe potentially down the road. I don't think that's a first-round move, but maybe a second-round move for Jalen Milroe to be coming to Pittsburgh. We shall see.
Listen, just do it already then. Like, they already have no quarterbacks. They have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Why not draft a kid? And then, what is the problem? You can't get on the phone with this prima donna Rodgers and close this deal? Like, it's just absolutely laughable at this point.
It really is. The Packers sign former Chiefs wide receiver Mecole Hardman. He gets a 1-year deal. He hasn't mattered since he caught that game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Proposed NFL rule changes. They all got released today by the league. That's going to be voted on at the next owners meeting. They include eliminating the tush push. That was brought up by the Packers. We knew that was going to happen. Also, playoff seedings. The Lions brought this up. If you have a better record than a division winner, you should host the game. We've had this a lot the last few years. As you know, they feel that the team who has more wins should have the host the game, not necessarily the division winner. We'll see what happens there. They want to use the playoff overtime in the regular season, which is no matter what happens on the first possession, the other team gets it. Even if it's a touchdown, they want the other team to hold the rock and get an opportunity.
Do you agree with that?
Eliminating.
Do you agree with that?
I do, actually.
I do.
If you're going to have overtime, you might as well
sucks.
do it. Just go ahead and let both teams have it, no matter what goes on. And eliminating automatic first downs for illegal contact and defensive holding penalties. Those are 5-yard penalties, but automatic first downs. The Lions don't want that anymore, and there's a reason the Lions don't want it. They've had the most the last 5 years, so the Lions trying to get that out.
It's ridiculous. It's a 5-yard penalty, but it's a first down every time, and it happens so much that it's annoying.
Especially on like those 3rd and 15s. You get those 3rd and 15s, and then you got to stop.
It should be the same as like running into the kicker 5 yards, and it's not a first down.
That's it.
That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The Browns showed off their magnificent new stadium plans, and no one cared.
Well, that's the thing, and that's why I refuse to even show it to you, because as we've been down this road in the past, again, another team going soft and getting rid of what makes it so great. I mean, the weather in Cleveland,
Right.
the tough fall and winter.
Let's go indoors.
But it's going indoors? I mean, come on. You just can't do that. So
Honestly.
I'm glad they're going to build their big Shangri-La there in Cleveland, but I mean, it's different. And the Bears are going to do the same thing, right? The Bears are going to end up doing the same thing in Chicago.
That is. Oh, they
Just an
already ruined
absolute
it once. Now they're going to
total
ruin it
fail.
even worse.
Putting domes on these
They
things.
might
Then
as
you've got
well
the
have
other
built
side.
it out at Arlington Park with your boy Edzo.
Yeah. Then there's people who say every team should have a dome. There shouldn't be any weather. Every game should be played under the same conditions. And why did
That's
get
ridiculous.
lost? This is football.
It's
Elements
ridiculous.
matter. How about hockey?
Everybody loves hockey.
Everybody does love hockey. Islanders had a big third period. They beat the Penguins at the PPG last night, 4-2. So the Islanders now only
I
4
told you
points
they
back.
blow. Honestly.
The Habs beat the Sens last night, and the significance there is, Scotty, is with the Rangers losing, which you had, Calgary beating the Rangers at the Garden last night. Montreal is in the last spot now in the Eastern Conference after that win. How about that?
I hit
They
both
haven't made
those
the playoffs.
games, Habs and Flames.
They've missed the last 3 years. Montreal in their history has never missed the playoffs 4 seasons in a row. This would be the 4th season in a row if they miss, but now they're in the spot. We'll see if they can hold it here over the last couple of weeks. Blues beat the Predators 4-1.
Cover.
Stars needed overtime to beat the Ducks. The Oilers smashed Utah last night, and Vancouver beat Winnipeg 6-2. So really, everyone held pace in that West race except Utah. Vancouver 75 points, St. Louis 75 points, Calgary 73 points. Really, and Utah now 71. So 4 points separating them, only one spot there, that second wild card in the Western Conference. I give you this every week. We'll get it in today since we won't get much of anything besides college in the next 2 days. NHL best and worst money line so far this year. The Capitals still the best, but there are those Canadians, Scotty. Second, then the Jets and the Ducks on the money line. And the worst, nobody's catching the Predators, at least I don't think this year. But the Sharks are trying to down the stretch with their minus 18 units this season.
I can't believe the Rangers are on the list. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a bad look for the Rangers being on the list. I don't disagree with that. The Gary Bettman held court today doing a little interview. He said that the 2025-2026 NHL season will start on October the 7th next year. They're going to play those games in Sweden with the Penguins and the Predators. They're going to play January 2nd for the Winter Classic in Florida. So they have all their dates lined up. Now, he also said he's not sure that the All-Star game will ever be played like an All-Star game again. So the Four Nations was so successful this past year that he's not sure that playing an All-Star
game again
will ever be done again. And, of course, the Islanders, the horse track is supposed to host the All-Star game next year in 2026. Yes, the horse track is supposed to have the festivities.
Maybe we should go to that. Maybe we should. Maybe I'll finally come out to Europe for a weekend.
Gotta go out and see it. Of course, then all the players are going to go to the Olympics after that. After the horse track.
Italy.
For the All-Star game festivities. Italy next year, I know. So
I'm
there you go with
surprised
that.
SportsGrid isn't sending you and I to Italy for the Winter Olympics. Ferrall
Only
and
2
Carver
games
High
tonight.
in Italia.
Only 2 games tonight. Both are on TV. TV doubleheader. First, Colorado is in Toronto against the Leafs. They're road favorites. I got them up to minus 130 now, plus 110 for Toronto and a 6.5.
It's got to be the Leafs in T-Town at Scotiabank for me with a little dog action at that price. I got them at plus $110.
And the Kraken will be in St. Paul against the Wild. Minnesota minus $1.65 now. Seattle plus 140 with a 5.5.
I'll take that plus 146 burger. And the Kraken on the road. Can we get a little funk going tonight in hockey since no one gives a damn about either game?
It's possible. I think that we can get it. We shall see. All right. There you go. Hockey.
Everybody loves hockey.
Baseball. The real opening day is a week from tomorrow.
What?
Next Thursday is opening day in Major League. But, of course, they played 2 games in Tokyo the last couple of mornings. Dodgers win both of them 6-3 this morning. And we ring the bell for the first time this season. Ohtani on Fox. Was it a homer or wasn't it? It was.
There's an absolute take. Right center field. It is off the wall. To second goes Ohtani. To home goes Ohtani. It was a home run.
Get paid on that dinger.
It was close. But you know what? They weren't.
No, it wasn't.
They would have had a big problem in that Tokyo Dome if they would have took that Ohtani homer off the board after review. So they did the smart thing by leaving it there. All right, I have a few other things for leftovers today, including we've done a lot of golf. It's Golf Wednesday, but I have 2 food-related golf items for you in leftovers today. You're gonna love this stuff today. We've got 2 food items with golf in leftovers that we will do. So get yourself lathered up for that.
Pirates are having problems like the Yankees with one of their star pitchers having elbow problems. This is turning into a disaster in the Steel City already.
Can't have it. Cannot have it. We'll do that in leftovers.
the SEC has 14 teams in this thing. Chances are they're going to get 1/2 to the Final Four, and Florida's everybody's choice.
It's the Florida Gators for me, and you're going to get them in round number 2, fresh out of the gate. That's what makes it tough. So for me, I'm not putting a lot of stock in UConn being back-to-back national champions at this point, as if that would give them a boost.
Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid.
So, 34C and the Young Chopicus are going to the basketball banquet tonight in a buffet-style setting at a fancy restaurant. And I said to 34C, bring me home leftovers because, as Carver High knows, everybody loves leftovers.
Everybody does. You were mentioning the Pirates. Their starter, Jared Jones, is going to miss his next spring start. He's got an elbow issue.
How about the whole spring? And how about the summer, though?
Not the news you want a week out from opening day.
It's the elbow. He's done.
That.
Tommy John.
But the Brave side, Craig Kimbrell, who's real. I mean, you talk about a guy who was on fumes last year.
He's shot.
He'll get $2 million if he joins the MLB roster at some point during the season. The Rangers signed Patrick Corbin to a 1-year deal. I had a big smile on my face when I saw that, because your boy gives up jacks. So
he's the worst.
If we can get Patrick Corbin out there, I love that. Atlanta beat the Bay last night in the TGL semifinals. They'll face New York for the championship next week. We talked with Keith about Rory. He's going to be in Houston. He hasn't played there in 11 years. It's going to be his last start before the Masters. Wants to get a little bit more work in. All right, our food golf portion. You remember this guy, Neil Shipley, Scotty? He was the low amateur at the Masters last year. He played with Tiger on Sunday.
Sure.
He was featured in the Full Swing, this new season that just came out. So he's a little bit of a bigger guy. He likes to hit the Waffle House every now and then. He claims he doesn't anymore, but man, he's got some go-to order. Here's Neil.
Well, it's changed. I've since Full Swing and filming at Augusta, I have since gotten a nutritionist, and we've cut out a lot of things in our diet. But the OG order was always an all-star special with the chocolate chip waffle. I'd go hash browns, scrambled eggs, usually sausage and white toast. And I would use the toast, eggs, and sausage. I'd cut the sausage in half, because you get 2. And I'd kind of make the eggs and turn it into a little sandwich. So like a little breakfast sandwich and then a chocolate chip waffle. That was definitely a big go-to. Now I'd probably just go with the 2-egg special now. I can't really do the waffle. I don't really do a lot of gluten anymore. So, yeah, but which is unfortunate because the waffle is probably the best.
It's
part.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate because he was OG and now he's Fem City with a nutritionist. What you need to do is more ab work and more cardio and get on that bike, get on that elliptical, and still eat all of the OG shack.
He'd probably like Scotty Scheffler's dinner at the Masters. Of course, this is the second time Scheffler has won, and he's going with really a lot of stuff he went with 2 years ago. The cheeseburger sliders, served Scotty style. The firecracker shrimp. I know you would be involved in that. Papa Chef's meatballs, the Texas-style chili, and how about the main course? The wood-fired cowboy ribeye. I mean, you got to be kidding me. If anybody orders the black and red fish, take a walk. I'll take the cowboy ribeye. And the warm chocolate chip skillet cookie there to top it off, the top off at the end.
That is the
Scheffler,
best
what a
thing
dinner.
I have ever heard about that dork, that he has a menu that fantastic. I have just erased 40% of my hate to him. That is a fantastic menu, and I am horny just hearing it. I have to tell you, it's time for Ferrall to finish. Puddle of Mud lead singer Wes Scantlin is in trouble again for the umpteenth time. This time for domestic violence after he allegedly cranked his girlfriend. 2 19-year-old students arrested for a caught-on-camera beatdown of a Florida high school teacher. They stomped their teacher out. OnlyFans model charged with killing a man who paid her $11,000 to perform a quote-unquote kinky act. That is just fantastic. And she made $11,000 and still killed him. A New York woman posing as a dentist performed a root canal on undocumented immigrants. Now that is just fantastic as well. A fake dentist doing root canals on people that are not documented immigrants. Unbelievable. An LA man wins $50 million after a Starbucks tea was spilled on his lap, leaving his unit burned and disfigured. GTD is now. And get the Ferrall app. It's badass. We'll see you tomorrow at Bellworks. I got you,
slow play drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scavern when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are going to learn we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience who's gone out and recruited, who knows how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
In a short format tournament like this, like the Olympics, now this is even smaller, only 4 teams. Who's got the best goaltending? Over, you're talking 3 round robin games and then a knockout with 4 teams. So you're playing 5 games.
I'm not sold yet, Mike, on the USA stuff, on the merch, but I think I'm sold on the USA at least being in the final.
Only on SportsGrid.
20-34. They have 14 games below 500. Any given night, you have no idea who is going to play for Philadelphia. Embiid has missed so many more games than he has actually played this year.
I will not bet on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I will not bet on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I will not bet on the Ravens because for the last 4 years now, do it every year, and I want to hit myself in the head with a bat.
The early line. only on SportsGrid.